The Ticket.
Prater The Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk, hour number 3. It's a Tuesday. If you're just joining us, and we put our listeners on a little bit of homework the first 2 hours, we'll let you play catch up. We want to know if you've ever had a random celebrity sighting in Idaho. Everybody says all these famous people always come chill in Idaho. Henry Winkler, the Fonz, is here right now fishing, and we want to know randomly, Prater. Like Prater one time walked into a jewelry store in Ketchum, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was there. And he goes, oh, hey, Arnold. And I think they bought the exact same size diamond ring for whatever.
Yeah.
They had to fight over who got the nicer ring.
Yes, exactly.
But a lot of people, and we've had a lot of people text these in, and wow, maybe it is not a myth, and maybe these famous people just do come hang in Idaho. So if you ever remember of randomly running into somebody mega famous here in the state of Idaho, we want you to text it to us on the Cloverdale Plumbing text line and get that done. Anything else? That's really all we really asked for homework today, Prater. I think we're good.
One homework assignment a day.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's how I liked it. That's why I graduated college when I was 28. Prater, don't even just stop.
You did.
Why'd I even say
no,
that?
you did it. I'm nothing but praise. I don't care. You did it. Nicely done, my friend.
Thank you, Prater. Appreciate you. We can't all go to the Yellowstone School of Broadcasting. You know, we're not all that smart.
Yeah.
I love you, JP. Can you imagine? I mean, play this game. You're a Boise State fan. You're driving in your car right now, and you know on Saturday, July 1st, it becomes official where you are now a member of the Big 12. Everybody in Cougar Nation, BYU fans, Prater, they're going to celebrate that on Saturday. I'm sure.
Yeah, if it happens here in Boise, you know that the offseason is going to be spectacular. All the season ticket sales will be gone. Jeremiah Dickey would have the easiest job in the world, you know, raising some money, selling some season tickets, the buzz. Our show, our job, our life would be so much different and so much easier. So we can sit here and hope and speculate, and maybe one day it'll happen, but right now it's not. And we can sit here and speculate because that's what we do best.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's speculate away. Let's give Boise State, hypothetically, BYU's schedule this year. Let's just say, okay, you got BYU's schedule. Prater, if they were looking to come in and kick the damn door down in the Big 12, maybe think again.
Yeah.
That's a tough schedule, huh?
It is. And yesterday we talked about the 14 teams that have changed conferences. Brett McMurphy of the Action Network has put out a whole bunch of stats and facts and figures. And, you know, like in the last 10 years, there's been 127 seasons. In the last 12 years, there's been 127 seasons where a football team had changed conference.
Okay.
And only 3 of those seasons did it result in a conference championship. And only 38 times out of those 127 seasons did a school even finish with a winning record in conference play. The transition is tough.
Great
tough,
stat.
tough. So Utah made it work okay in the Pac-12. They had a great first year in the Pac-12. They struggled for a couple of years. And then on year 4, they were off and running. That's the most recent one that I follow.
TCU to the Big 12.
TCU to the Big 12. A little bit of a hiccup, but certainly made that transition and was able to do it. I think Boise State would be able to make the transition. I think it would be a little bit slower because of just where they are resource-wise, just because based on the Boise. But I think within 3 to 5 years, Boise State could be a player. It doesn't matter if it's the Big 12 or the Pac-10, 12, 14, whatever it is right now. Either one of those conferences, I think, would work for Boise State, and Boise State would be fine in both of those conferences long-term. First year, though, transition year, tough year, brutal year. BYU is going to struggle this year. I think BYU is going to win 3 or 4 games. Vegas has them winning 4.5 to 5.5, depending on which book you look at.
That's
in terms of the over-under win totals. So Vegas says BYU is not going to a bowl game. As a matter of fact, of the 14 teams that are going to new conferences on Saturday, Vegas says Central Florida, UTSA, Liberty, North Texas, and FAU will have enough wins to go to bowl games. Everybody else, the other 9 teams, good luck, my friends.
Interesting. All right, well, let's pick apart BYU's schedule, but put Boise State ahead of BYU instead of BYU.
Okay.
I should say. I'll go through it, and you just tell me what you have. Week 1, hosting Sam Houston State here on the Blue.
Boise State wins. And Sam Houston is one of the teams, by the way, changing conferences. It's going from the Conference USA to the
they're going from the WAC.
From the WAC to Conference USA.
Yes, they are.
That is correct.
FCS to FBS jump.
And they're a bad team. I mean, Vegas says they're going to win 4 games at the most. So Boise State crushes Sam Houston on the blue.
Next week on the blue, Southern Utah from the Big Sky. Actually, now they're in the WAC, aren't they?
Boise State crushes Southern Utah. Not a good football program. 2 easy-peasy non-con games on the blue. Boise State takes care of business.
So they're 2-0.
They're 2-0.
Week 3, they go to Arkansas, Pig Suey, Fayetteville, Razorback Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, in Arkansas, on paper is not supposed to be that great this year. But, I mean, I put, for the most part here, I took BYU schedule like you did. I gave Boise State a loss in every road game except for one. We'll get to that here in a minute.
Okay, so they're 2-1.
Yes, sir.
After the Arkansas loss, they go to Lawrence, Kansas, and they take on the KU Jayhawks.
Loss.
Oh, Prater.
Loss.
2-2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, Kansas is supposed to be decent this year. I don't think they're supposed to be as bad as they were in the past.
You think Boise State would lose with this team at KU?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Text us. Let us know.
I mean,
your
Vegas
opinions.
is predicting Kansas to win 7 games this year.
Gosh, okay.
So they're good. I mean,
I like their coach.
In the preview that I read that they were one of the top 6 teams, but we'll see.
Next week. Okay, they're 2-2. Next week, again, this is Boise State with BYU schedule. Next week, they are back on the blue, hosting the Cincinnati Bearcats home game.
Cincinnati's going to struggle a little bit. I don't see them going to a bowl game. I see Boise State being able to handle Cincinnati. They haven't had a chance to take care of, to turn their resources into players yet. So Cincinnati loses on the blue to Boise State. Boise State is 3-0 at home as a Big 12 program.
Okay, so now they're 3-2. They get a bye week. They get 2 weeks to prep for TCU in Fort Worth on the road against the number 2 team in the country last year. And obviously this would be so much fun because of the history between Boise State and TCU. Who you got? Yeah,
close game, tight game. Boise State, this is where Boise State flexes its will, but I still see TCU still one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Big 12 this year. They're going to be good. They're going to be, they have enough talent based on what they did last year. Boise State loses at TCU.
Okay, so at this point, midway through, you're 3-3 on your first year in the Big 12. We're hosting Idaho Sports Talk. Are the fans okay with this?
I think so.
I think so too.
As long as Arkansas, Kansas, and TCU were all competitive games. And they didn't slip up at home to Cincinnati. But yeah, I think 3-3 is okay.
Okay, next week you're back on the blue and you welcome the Red Raiders from Texas Tech. Who you got?
Texas Tech is supposed to be pretty decent this year, but again, because I took away Boise State's power on the road, but I'm still giving them the power at home. I see Boise State's going to beat Texas Tech, and they're gonna win that game at home.
Okay, next one, Halloween weekend. They are in Darrell Royal Stadium at Texas. Oh, this would be fun.
Yeah, this might be the first welcome to the Big 12 moment. Texas is supposed to be good. I mean, that doesn't mean Boise State can't go in there and compete, but if we're going to talk the win-loss game, I have Boise State losing that game.
Okay, so they're at Texas. They lose in Austin the next week.
Now they're 4-4, right?
Yeah, they're 4-4. You still got a bowl game possibility, still hanging around, and obviously the fan base still has a couple of big home games coming next week. This is the longest trip Boise State will make as a Big 12 team. They go all the way to Morgantown, Virginia, which is basically like Pittsburgh, to play at West Virginia. What do you say on this?
I got Boise State winning this game. Based on what I read, West Virginia is supposed to be a little bit down this year.
Okay.
Vegas has them at 5.5 wins. I think Boise State sneaks one out. The road trip back east, they've proved in the past that those kinds of trips don't bother them. I think they get that done. Boise State wins its first Big 12 game on the road.
Yeah, that'd be their first Big 12 road win. I can see Jeremiah Dickey right now coming on Idaho Sports Talk saying, aha, singing Country Roads, Take Me Home. Screw you.
Yes,
Back
sir.
to the blue. I love it. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. After that, you come home and you welcome a team that's actually been here before, a long time ago, but you host the Iowa State Cyclones. Matt Campbell, I believe, still the coach there in Ames. Decent program. What you got there, hosting Iowa State on the blue. This would be November 11th.
Boise State wins this game to go 6-4 in the Big 12, and the fan base in Boise, Idaho is just on fire.
Idaho Sports Talk ratings are just through the roof. Dude, could you imagine, man? We got Kirk Herbstreit coming on this show if that happens, followed by Joel Klatt, followed by, I don't even know, man, whoever the hell we want if this is the case. God,
6-4, lots of buzz. And the Boise State Broncos close the deal and become bowl eligible.
And then a week before Thanksgiving, they are back home. It is the home finale. It is senior day on the blue for the rematch that college football has been waiting 17, 18 years for. Boise State on the blue, hosting Boomer Sooner, the Oklahoma Sooners. I mean, Prater, could you even stinking imagine this?
Monday through Saturday morning will be the greatest week in the history of sports.
Game day back on the blue?
No,
game
come
day,
on, no.
Prater, game day?
For a 6-4 team?
Yeah, this is the greatest game anybody's ever seen. First time they played since then. Game day.
Stop.
Come on, man. Prater.
Ball game stop. Not even close. They won't even make the list. Boise State is lucky to even be relevant at this point. They're 6-4, and they're just going to get crushed by Oklahoma. Going to get crushed by Oklahoma on the blue. It'll be fun. It'll be festive. The first half, maybe Boise State hangs, then depth maybe gets in the way a little bit. Something happens, but I think Oklahoma, who's locked and loaded again this year, they lose to fall to 6-5.
By the way, at this point, we forgot to mention after the win in Morgantown, they become bowl eligible, which would be a big thing. Did you mention that?
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I forgot. That would be a big thing. So they're still bowl eligible. Could you imagine the degree of ass whipping that Boomer Sooner Nation would want to put on Boise State in that game?
Yeah, I don't buy that.
You don't think they would want revenge on that?
Who's
the diehard fans?
Who's they?
The fan base.
Oh, the fans probably.
The coach, maybe for the boosters, for everybody.
No, Oklahoma's forgotten about that game.
It's not a very big deal.
I mean, for here in Boise, it's a big deal,
Uh-huh.
and lots of ghosts will be dancing on the blue, but I don't think Oklahoma cares. I mean, there'll be some fans that'll say, let's get some revenge, but I don't think it'll be a swelling of support.
What do you guys got? 208-424-9300, Cloverdale Plumbing text line, and the finale of the regular season. They've been here before. They'll go here again. Stillwater, Oklahoma. T. Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma State, hosting Boise State.
Boise State has proved that it can hang with this program. I don't think this Oklahoma State Cowboys team is going to be anything on paper. And this offseason tells me that they're going to be great. Vegas has them at 6.5 wins. So they're going to be good, but they're not going to be great. Still, Boise State going on the road and beating a good Big 12 team on the road. I don't see it happening. Stillwater is a special place to play. Boise State ends its first season in the Big 12 with a 2-game losing streak.
What's Prater's headline? I always ask you this, like we're doing Bronco game night again. What's Prater's headline in the Prater Times Sunday morning after Boise State loses in Stillwater, but they finish the regular season 6-6?
It won't be as big as, beating West Virginia and becoming bowl eligible a couple of weeks before. That's the headline of the year. Whatever kind of, I'm trying to think of a creative headline about beating West Virginia and going to a bowl game, but that's the big headline. The Sooners rematch will be a big headline. Oklahoma State, you're kind of petering out on the season. Then I don't smell a big headline.
Okay, what would you guys put on that headline? 208-424-9300. So there you have it. We're having fun with this. Prater says Boise State. You give them Utah's schedule. He's got
BYU schedule.
Yeah, damn it! You give him BYU schedule. BYU will have, that is BYU's schedule this year, you guys. Prater just gave it to Boise State. He's got them at 7-5. Where would you have them on this? We want to read those texts.
No, I got them at 6-6.
Damn it.
And I think that will be better than what BYU does. I think BYU at the most is going to win 4 or 5 games, which is my way of saying that Boise State is better than BYU, but I may be biased.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what BYU does with that schedule. I had BYU at 5-7, so I think they're a little behind, but a lot of room there. Travis, thanks for holding. You're on Idaho Sports Talk. No, we lost Travis. All right, Travis, sorry, bud. No, you snooze, you lose. Sorry we didn't get you ASAP, but we had stuff to talk about. Prater, good stuff. 14 programs on Saturday morning will wake up as members to a new conference. Which of those 14 has the best chance to win their league? Which of those 14 has the best chance to embarrass themselves and fall flat on their face? It's Prater on the ball game. Zamzos, you have ants inside or outside your house. Won't be long. Trust me, if you go to Zamzos, you will cure those problems quick. There's 13 area Zamzos locations in the Treasure Valley. Prater, let's talk college football on Idaho Sports Talk.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studio.